Greetings and salutations. It is Saturday, December 30th, 2023, the year of our Lord, 2023. You're listening to and watching the Let's Not Do This podcast. Two of the three unwise men sitting alongside me. I am, of course, the Big O, Leon Oliver. To my bottom on the screen, he's usually a bottom. One, Chris, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
You look like you just robbed a bank in Wichita, Kansas.
It's possible. I might be in Kansas right now.
Is Chiefsaholic a friend of yours?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Chiefsaholic?
No.
Well,
the Chiefs fan that's robbing banks.
Yeah.
The guy that wears the was it a wolf mask?
Yeah, wears a wolf mask. He was robbing banks. I think he actually get let out to go to watch the AFC Championship game last year, I want to say.
The only Chiefs fan I acknowledge is Taylor Swift.
Jesus fucking Christ. Taylor, we didn't even make it 2 minutes into the show before we had that harlotton mentioned.
But she's really an Eagles fan, right? Or she was.
She's from Delaware, so that wouldn't surprise me.
She's a Pfizer fan, along with Travis Kelce, Mr. Pfizer there, who is playing.
Okay.
His play continues to tumble, much like the Chiefs. And to my left, quite often my far left, one Sky Tuhati. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Hit a first field goal, Jalen Brunson free throw at 55-1 yesterday, and then I immediately lost all that money. So
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
What sport was this? Basketball?
Yes, Jalen Brunson. You know who Jalen Brunson is.
Was this the NBA?
Yes.
Are they still playing that league? It's still going on? Okay. Well, I watch sports that matter, so I don't know.
Like soccer.
Hey, I watched I'm very sad this morning because I got up 7-something to watch the Old Farm Derby on CBS Sports Network. My beloved Glasgow Rangers and Celtic. Once again, Rangers bowing out to Celtic. I'll keep the partisan politics and stuff out of this, but I was none too happy to see the Rangers go down. So I got that.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody knows what that means. Did they lose 1-0?
I forget the score now. I've been drinking. I think it was 3-2. Yeah, got a red card.
It's 11 a.m., Leon.
Wasn't good. Hey, if there's soccer on, if there's sport on, it's socially acceptable to drink. You don't get up at like 7 a.m. to watch like world sports and start drinking?
No.
I'm
normal.
Well, this bourbon.
Normal, yeah. I don't know about normal.
Yeah. So how was everyone's Christmas, or Chris, in your case, Kwanzaa?
What?
Happy Harambe to you too, sir. But yeah, how was your holidays? Did you actually get gifts, Chris?
Did I get any gifts? Yes, I got a massage gun from my roommates. Oh yes, Gavin got some stuff.
Okay. I want to make sure that your child did receive gifts from you, because otherwise we were going to have to rectify that.
Gavin got a pair of shoes straight from China.
Ooh.
The Dwayne Wade shoes.
China. Were they the LeBron special?
No, the Dwayne Wade shoes.
Okay, well maybe they're in cahoots in there. Do they use the same sweatshop?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, nice. What about you, Scotty? Did you have a lovely Christmas?
Yeah, I actually got these AirPods. I'm pretty much using them for the first time. Hopefully they're charged enough to make it through the show. But yeah, good Christmas.
Nice.
How about you?
I had a lovely Christmas. I ventured to the free state of Florida, where I enjoyed several beverages, and hanging out with the family was always a good time. And I stumbled upon a little slice of heaven that we like to call Twin Peaks. Now, we all know my affinity for Hooters. I'm a Hooters guy. Some of the executives from Hooters a few years ago left and started a competing company, Twin Peaks. I've been to one in Colorado before. This is only the second one I've ever been to. Let me tell you, it was glorious. They had everything. It was craft beer galore. And I love the big screens with the 29-degree beer. They got the live temperature of the beers as you go in there. The wings are great. It was like a brand new restaurant. It just opened in like August or September or something like that. We need to open one here, the three of us.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just open in Twin Peaks.
I was on the franchising site the other day. The Richmond area is available.
How much?
I didn't. Well, Chris, it's kind of like it's kind of like when you go to look for a house or something like that. If the price isn't listed, they don't want any looky-loos. They want people there, so we probably have to send some emails, make some phone calls.
Chris, your video's frozen.
Yeah, no, my computer's frozen at the moment. But I can hear you.
Okay.
Well, he's got
No idea what's going on.
When you buy a Daewoo computer, that tends to be what happens.
It's a MacBook. I don't know.
You gotta wait for your dial-up to kick in.
Yeah. His MacBook is actually from like 2007.
Yes, somebody called the house.
Yeah.
Kicked him off.
He's got
I'm still using my free trial of AOL.
Yeah. He couldn't run this program and Oregon Trail at the same time. But,
Oregon Trail's so good.
Yeah, that was a shit.
We need to open a Twin Peaks.
If we have to have we would have to make money to do that. None of us have that much.
Run a bar. Well, I could.
No, you couldn't. You'd run it right into the ground. You'd drink all the profits.
Oh, I'd be a benevolent businessman. I'd go around. Yeah, I give a free shot every now and then. But, do the politician, glad hand, shake some hands, kiss some babies, That's what I do. I'm the face of the franchise.
Nobody wants you coming up to them while they're drunk.
While they're drunk?
Yeah, that's their job. To bar to get drunk.
Serve our guests. That's a insurance.
We are.
Yeah,
we already talked about this though. I'm the TV guy.
No, you cannot be the TV guy.
I make sure all the TVs are on the right channels, so actual sports that people watch are on.
Yeah, but
not soccer.
We don't need young Sheldon on the TV at a sports bar.
You're gonna have like degenerate gambling picks on there. Like no one's watching Stonehill and Rutgers in the last 2 minutes.
Oh yes, they are.
They are
128.
We would get all the gamblers.
They're getting higher viewership than any of your soccer games are. So
worldwide,
I trust Scotty with the remote. We're not a world. We're going to be in Virginia, not the world.
Soccer has a higher viewership worldwide, and we'll open early and get my soccer crowd in. Like I went to a brewery down there called String Sports. They opened at 9 a.m. for Premier League, and it's a proper Fulham bar. So there's like tons of Fulham fans in there, and they're like watching Premier League all day. And boom, like noon comes around. Now it's college basketball and stuff. It's a brilliant idea. They're just making money hand over fist.
Well, it's a good thing you don't live down there.
Oh, I'd be dead. I'd be dead in the free state of Florida. Chris, I want to kick you out, and then like you can bring you back in and see if that fixes your video. It's just better this way without him.
Yeah, he's used to being kicked out of places. So.
Oh yeah, well, except for the places he doesn't want to be kicked out of, prison. There we go. Look at that. The old Russian turn it off and turn it back on again still works. Next, we just had to slap it a little bit, and yeah.
I think I like you better when you're not moving.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. The only thing that sucked about my trip was the state of South Carolina does not know what asphalt is. Have you all driven I-95 in South Carolina?
It's been a while, but
it's been a long time.
That was the issue last time I was down there.
Southbound I-95 in South Carolina looks like Sarajevo in like the early 90s. I mean, like, how is it America? I don't know. The roads literally have no asphalt on them. I don't know what they're doing with the tax dollars down there. Nikki Haley's like denying the Civil War. I don't know what's going on down there. But we need to get some.
Those are your people, Leon.
We need to get. You know what? The loser of the Clemson South Carolina football game each year needs to go and pave the highway. That's what they need to do. The losing team has to get out there with tar and fix the highways. That'll spice up the Palmetto Bowl a little bit each year.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. All right, so here we sit now. It's 11:09. Today's the 30th of December. We got college football playoff games coming up. What is it? New Year's Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, none of these days make sense. They all blend in now. New Year's Day And then we have also NFL this week, week 17. And we have a Saturday NFL affair with Dallas and Detroit. So a lot of good stuff to get to here. And Sky's found some off-the-wall stuff that we'll talk about here in a little bit as well. So without further ado, I guess you boys want to talk a little college football?
Let's do it.
All right. So after all the hullabaloo and all the fighting and all the debating, we had the Final Four set college football playoff. We got Alabama, Michigan, and then we got Texas and Washington. I'll go ahead, Scotty, and I'll start off with you. What game do you want to bring up first here?
So we just talking about playoffs right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess just go with the game coming on first. Alabama, Michigan.
All right. The floor is yours.
I'm actually. Are we doing picks this week or like? Because this is on my. I did each playoff game. I actually have the. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I don't know what they're really making Michigan. Because they've only really played 2 real teams. They haven't played a real quarterback yet. You can't really count Iowa. But obviously, they have a good defense. I have no idea what. I think Alabama's going to win, but my bet is on the over. I got it at 44.5 on Fanatics. Yeah, on Fanatics. Alabama's been hitting over this number pretty much every week. When Michigan played Ohio State, it was 30-24. So I think the number's too low. But as far as who's going to win, I would say Alabama, but who knows? Like I said, I don't know what to make of Michigan.
Michigan trying to shake that narrative. They've got over the last few years in the playoff where they can't win the big game in the playoff. They finally gotten the Ohio State monkey off their back, obviously, the last few years. Now they're trying to get the playoff monkey off their back. I mean, yeah, this game intrigues me the most out of both of them. Michigan, I feel like the Big Ten is so top heavy. We really don't know much about them still. They can run the ball. I really like Blake Corum a lot. He's, of course, Virginian. I think from Marshall. I think like Fauquier County originally around there. Something about Nick Saban, though. I can't go against Nick Saban team in the playoffs. You give Nick Saban time to prepare for you. Jalen Milroe has been great. I mean, ever since getting that starting job back. And Bama just finds a way. And especially in these big games, having the experience, winning the games that they have. I'm waffling back and forth on this, but I'm going to take Bama. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I'm going to take Bama to come out with the win on this one. Christopher?
I'm going Michigan -1.5. Harbaugh's revenge tour against the NCAA. Bama just doesn't look like Bama. The SEC, the reputation was much greater than their output this year, in my opinion. I don't think Bama's as good as people think they are. Their defense isn't the same. Their offense doesn't seem to have those killer playmakers that they always do every year. So I'm going Michigan. Go blue. Let's go Harbaugh.
You mentioned the SEC. Did you see yesterday where Clemson, in a thrilling game, Clemson beat Kentucky? And afterwards, I believe the ACC put out they went 7-5 this year. I want to say, like head to head against the SEC. But I mean,
Bama shouldn't even be in the playoff. It should be Florida State. But we've already talked about that a million times.
Well, I think Randolph Macon might be able to get Florida State a game today because they're down like 17 players or something like that, starting like a 4th-string quarterback. The 3 of us might, 2. I don't know. Sky is a little small. The 2 of us may be able to dress for the Noles this afternoon when they play Georgia, which is quite sad, actually, that we're not going to see those teams a representation of what they were during the season when they square off. But all right, so Chris is on the board with Michigan.
Yeah, just real quick. So these are also like Alabama. Nick Saban's done this plenty of times where people are saying they shouldn't even be in. They get a lucky win somewhere and sneak in the playoff, and then they just go and dominate. So I don't think they're going to dominate. I do think they'll win, but it'll be close.
That game in Pasadena, Rose Bowl, what do you think the crowd's going to be? You think it's going to be about 50-50, or you think it's going to be a lot of I mean, Michigan obviously Rose Bowl traditionally a Big Ten territory. Now with UCLA coming into the conference, it is a Big Ten territory. But how do you think the crowd's going to shake down? I mean, Bama travels real well.
It's
Yeah, I think
probably
it'd
going
be
to be
pretty
about
even.
50-50.
Yeah.
Maybe 60-40 Michigan.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to that one. Then the next one coming up in the playoffs, we got Texas and Washington. I feel like no one's really given the Huskies a chance in this game. I love Michael Penix Jr. I liked him when he was at Indiana. Obviously, they had that great 2020 season at Indiana. They beat Penn State in like the opening week, whatever, during COVID. He leaves. He goes to Washington. He puts up numbers there. Washington, maybe not the sexiest team down the stretch. Some of their wins, not like they were early in the season. The competition stepped up a lot in the second half of the season for them. But they've just found a way to win. And I really like Kalen DeBoer, the head coach. I like Washington to come away with a win in this game. And I think it's going to be a big feather in the cap for the Big Ten and say, like, hey, we have this team that's coming in. They're going to be playing for the national championship. They could be national champions and go into a new conference. I mean, you could see it with Texas too. They end up going and winning the whole thing. They could be a national champion and then moving into a new conference. So I don't know, but I really like Washington in this game. I just don't think Texas has I can't trust Texas in a big game. And I know it's not fair to these guys because they all haven't been here, but the whole Texas is bad. Texas this, Texas that. I gotta believe it. I gotta see it, and I don't think they're ready for this stage just yet. I'm going with Washington.
Yeah, actually, I actually agree with you. My bet is Washington plus 4.5. I got that on FanDuel. Washington has been playing a lot of close games this year, and I think this is going to be a close game, and they've won all of those close games. So I think they got the advantage when it comes down to crunch time. Like you said, Penix has just been really good all year. Long live the Pac-12. I think, like I said, could go either way. I think both games go either way. But especially betting-wise with their 4.5 points, I'm definitely taking Washington, but I think they'll pull off a close one.
Well, poor Washington. We're all on Washington.
Oh, Lord.
I was gonna bet them plus 3.5, so I'll take the 4.5 with Scotty then. So yeah, expect Texas to totally dominate now.
We need a contrarian. We need someone to save the graphic. Chris, I just heard that dog barking. If we can bring that dog in to us graphic here.
That old grumpy bitch.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are agreeing, a lot of people are going Michigan, Texas, with over 50% on our poll on Let's Not Do This Podcast on Facebook. So if y'all want to get in and let your opinion be known,
Ooh,
right ahead. Yeah, put that up this morning.
That's called a tease in the industry. Look at that, Christopher. Okay, someone that's the most work he's ever done on the show.
That is not true, and you fucking know it.
But yeah, Washington's still plus 4.5. That's probably going to go down at some point on FanDuel. So go grab it while you can.
Yeah.
I'm not even taking points. I'm just going Washington straight up in this one. That's how confident I feel.
Yeah, I like Penix more than I trust yours, so that's how I'm going.
Yeah.
That pretty much is what it comes down to. If I got one game to win, who am I going to give the ball to between these two guys? And it's going to be Michael Penix Jr. And especially if it's late and you need to make a drive down the field, I trust him more. Washington's receiving core, I like them a lot, and they play really good defense. And I like the tenacity of that team. I like them a lot. And you mentioned long live the Pac-12. How just think about that for a second. If they end up winning this whole thing and they turn out the lights on the Pac-12 with a championship, you look at the year that league
fucking bananas
from a football standpoint, and now it's just gone. It's just.
I mean, this is the best year they've probably ever had in football, right?
Oh
Top
yeah,
to bottom. Yeah,
in a long time. Yeah.
And I know we saw Oregon.
I mean,
State.
you had the USC days back in the day, but I mean, they were pretty much the only team in that conference, right? That were contenders. I mean, you got 3 or 4 teams that at some point were like they have a shot at the playoff.
Yeah, and you saw like Oregon State get smoked by Notre Dame yesterday, but I mean, it was a shell of the Oregon State
Yeah.
team that we saw during the season. DJ is gone, the head coach is gone, a lot of other guys are gone. Like that's what sucks about some of these games because it's not an accurate representation of what that team was during the year. Has DJ picked a new team yet? I don't think he has. I don't think he's committed anywhere yet.
Well, I thought he was debating on whether he wanted to enter the draft or not.
I think the draft is coming up, and I think Florida State had been mentioned too, possibly. It'll be interesting to see what turn. I think Oregon had come up with him as well, I want to say.
Yeah, I think I did see that.
Which is weird, by the way, to switch sides in a rivalry like that. Like NC State had a defensive back, Jakeem Harris. After 5 years in Raleigh, he's going to Carolina next year. It's just weird when the guys switch sides in the rivalry. And he put up a picture with Mac Brown, and him and Mac Brown are like arm in arm, and they're doing like the pointing at each other thing. It's just imagine like if Beekman played, at Virginia and then transferred to Virginia Tech to play basketball. It would be the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Oh, since you're just coming back from your vacation, what are your thoughts on Florida State?
Look, I feel like they got screwed. I mean, I really do. You ask a team to go out and win every game, and that's what they did. And despite the injuries, they played the teams that were on their schedule. They played the teams that were in their conference, and they won. And they found a way to win, and they went undefeated. I mean, what more?
They beat 2 SEC teams.
Yeah, they beat what was it, LSU and Florida.
Yeah.
What more can you do than go undefeated? And it's not like Liberty playing in a small conference or anything like that. No, they were in the ACC. It may not be the Big Ten or the SEC, but it's a Power 5 league or Power 4, I guess, league. No, I mean I think they had a real gripe. I think they had a bigger gripe to make than Georgia, in my opinion.
Yeah. Big time.
But
what are your thoughts on them suing to get out?
I think it opens Pandora's box. I know if I remember the legal papers, I've read a lot of stuff over the last few days, and if I remember correctly, I think the commissioner extended the deal without bringing it to the rest of the conference, and they're trying to look at that as a way to get out, to avoid it. If Florida State can somehow, and I hate to make a Civil War reference here, but Florida State's like South Carolina. They were the first state to succeed, right? Then everyone starts following behind after that. If Florida State can find their way to successfully win this suit, or just to get the fee lowered to make it tenable to get out, you're going to see a mass exodus after that. Just like South Carolina succeeded, and then you saw Bama and Georgia and everything follow suit, you're going to see the same thing. If Florida State can figure this out, Carolina's coming, Clemson's coming. Like, it's going to be a mass exodus from this league. And I think you're going to be left with a lot of leftover schools, like the schools that got brought in for next year, and some of the old Big East schools, and this collection of unwanted toys.
You think the people of Florida are smart enough to get out of it?
I think they are, man. I don't think Florida State would be beating the drum this hard if they didn't think that they had some real evidence. If they didn't think that they had a real shot to get out of this league. And I think you not only have to know that you're going to be able to get out, but you have to know that you're going to have somewhere to go. And I don't know if the SEC would be a home. I mean, obviously Florida and Georgia.
Florida don't want them.
Yeah,
it's going to be a Big 12.
Are going to fight. Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I think it's going to be the Big 12 because you can't have UCF be the standard bearer for the state of Florida in that league. You're going to, if you can bring in Florida State and maybe even to Miami, that would be a huge coup for the Big 12.
Yeah.
So what I did, I turned the show on for 3 minutes last week. I saw Chris's face and turned it off, as most people do. So I didn't get your takes on this. What did you guys think?
I don't even remember my take. What was your take, Scotty? I think we just went over the technical aspects of it.
I get where both sides are coming from. I didn't understand why they're in an agreement till 2036.
Yeah, the greater rights were extended to 2036.
Why would that ever be a thing where a contract is that long? But I disagree with Florida State trying to bring them not getting into the playoff as part of this. because that's taking like next year. That's not going to be an issue anymore. Like they would have been in the 12 teams, but I kind of get where they're coming from, saying they should be getting a bigger piece of the pie. As far as are they ever going to get out? I don't know, maybe some type of compromise. I don't see them getting out of the ACC anytime soon. Maybe they'll come to some type of compromise. I don't know. Like I said, that's not really my the whole conference and all that. It's not really my expertise, so to speak.
What was funny to me, as I watched a little bit of that Boston College SMU debacle in the rain at Fenway, was pretty much the whole ACC united on X, and everyone was welcome to the ACC SMU because that is the most ACC game to go up to BC. No, not at BC, but you know what I mean. Go up to Boston in the rain and lose a stinker to Boston College. I feel like every ACC school has had that happen at some point.
Yeah.
That's your ACC welcome basket. A bizarre loss at Boston College in the rain where you look like shit. Welcome to the ACC SMU.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my breath on Florida State exit. I hope it doesn't happen. I love the ACC for basketball. I don't want it to crumble because we're gonna lose a lot of amazing rivalries and just good basketball. I don't really give a fuck about football, unlike 90% of the country, but I'm hoping it doesn't happen for selfish reasons.
But you're not excited for Stanford at Pitt basketball on a Tuesday night on the ACC network at 8:30? You're not excited for that?
I mean, Stanford at Pitt, I will watch that. But if Florida State leaves, Clemson leaves, North Carolina leaves, Virginia's going to the Big Ten. So it'd be Virginia Tech and Pitt would probably be the two biggest schools left.
I don't think Virginia Tech would be left. That's the thing. I think this Florida State thing opens Pandora's box because you're going to see state legislatures get involved. And we saw Mark Warner and everything in Virginia, what they did to get Virginia Tech into the ACC. I think Virginia Tech are going to be eternally tied at the hip. And I think the same thing for the legislature in North Carolina with NC State and Carolina. Wherever Carolina goes, State's going to go.
I don't know about Tech's not going to fit in the Big Ten. They're going to the Big 12 if they go anywhere.
I think they have. I mean, the academic.
I think we're more of a Big Ten school than UVA is, sports wise, anyways. Yeah,
sports wise, but it's Big Ten cares about academics more than.
Well, Virginia Tech's one of the engineering schools in the country. Come on. They let Scotty in for some inexplicable reason, but we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
They did waitlist me at first, to be fair. So
yeah, they were just waiting on Marcus Vick to get kicked out, and then Scotty got in. It was like
I was there for all that. That's the year I was there. Yeah.
Well, I don't know which football player got the boot for Sky to get in. It's like the religious people say. Guy closes the door, opens a window, or something like that. That's how Scotty got in. Some football player got kicked out.
So there was a football player there because Scotty's not my real first name. I'm not going to give everybody my real first name, but there was a player there with the same first and last name because I used to get some of his emails sometimes. He was like an offensive lineman.
Oh yeah, was there any undue NIL stuff that was illegal back then? You want to break any news on this show?
No, it was just some nothing cool, just like class grades or whatever. Yeah.
So you saw football players' grades? You didn't.
They weren't grades. It was just normal professor emails or something. I don't know. I didn't really read them. It was nothing too exciting.
You could have broke.
The professor said, "You're missing this work. Please get your tutor to turn it in for you."
Yeah. Please get your girlfriend on the women's soccer team to complete this paper and turn it in for me. Thank you.
We're trying to keep you eligible.
Yeah.
Please get somebody to do this now.
Yeah. All right. So we've picked the two playoffs games. What do you guys have on your docket for your third non-NFL game? I'll start with the least prepared person, Christopher.
I'm going back to Old Faithful. Iowa
Me
versus Tennessee under 35.5.
I forget the guy that's starting at quarterback for Tennessee. Obviously, no Joe Milton as he's opted out. But Iowa, I saw a meme yesterday too during the Missouri beatdown of Ohio State, and it was Iowa's like offense, and it was like Ohio State without Marvin Harrison Jr. And I LOL as the kids would say. All right, so you're going.
Is Ryan under Iowa game 35.5. Is Ryan Day going to survive this year?
Who are you going to get? That's the thing. He's a devil that you may know. He's not a good coach, but if you're Ohio State and you make a move, who are you going to get? Who's out there? Who's better?
What's Jim Tressel doing right now?
Isn't Jim Tressel like 185 years old?
I don't think so.
I think we need to play the NCAA Live game for Jim Tressel. Is he? Are we sure?
Him and Troy Smith are matching tattoos somewhere right now.
I know he's younger than Mac Brown.
Okay, you know what? To the interwebs here, I will figure out how old Jim Tressel is. Wasn't he like the president at Youngstown State University a few years ago?
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
It was one of the more bizarre things. It was like when Bobby Valentine was the AD at like Sacred Heart or whatever. Jim Tressel is, where's his age? He's 71 years old.
Yeah, he's got a few more years.
Yeah. The last time he coached in football, it was his last season at Ohio State in 2010. He was a consultant with the Colts in 2011. So, yeah, he's been out of the game for a while there, Scotty. And I mean, Christopher, I don't think he's going to be roaming the sidelines anytime soon. He did work at the University of Akron for a bit after coaching. He was vice president of strategic engagement, which that pretty much means vice president of getting handshakes for money is what that means. And it's Akron, so it was like, vice president of getting $5 donations. Then he went to Youngstown.
Brokering tattoo deals.
Or what?
Brokering tattoo deals.
Oh, that's true. He retired as president of Youngstown State effective June 23rd of he retired on June 23rd of 22, and the retirement went into effect February 1st of this year. So a freshly retired Jim Tressel.
So he's ready to come back. He's pulling the Urban Meyer card.
Yeah.
Ryan Day's not getting fired.
No, I just don't see where you're going to go. And there's not going to be a sexy enough name out there for a school like that and that cult, because that is a cult at Ohio State.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you're going with the Iowa under in their bowl game. Scotty, what's on your deck? I'm sure there's some Orlando Magic or something.
No, I'm actually going the same game that Chris went, but I'm going Iowa plus 6.5. I think it's +5 and +6 most places, but FanDuel, I got it again. Plus 6.5. I just think Tennessee, they're pretty much depleted on, like you said, Joe Milton's opting out. Their starting running backs opted out. Their backup running backs opted out. They have several starters on defense that are opting out. And Iowa really doesn't have anybody of note opting out. And like Chris said, bet the under. The under means it's probably going to be a close game. I think 6.5 is just too many points.
All right. So I'm going to take a divergent path with my last pick here, and I'm going to the Premier League in a game that's coming up at 12:30 today. Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. Of course, my Hammers of West Ham had a nice win over Man U, which I thought was going to lead to the sacking of one Eric Ten Hag. Excuse me, it did not.
What are all these words?
They're parts of the English language. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals in this game here. I'm going to go over 2.5. I think Chris Wood will tally for Nottingham Forest, but I think Eric Ten Hag will live to fight another day. I can see this being like a 2-1 Manchester United win, and the natives still being a little restless there at Old Trafford.
Totally.
What was our record last week, Scotty?
Did you see the pick segment last week, Leon?
I did not. Like I said, I saw Christopher's face and I turned it off.
All right, we'll just go through the records real quick. I went 1-2 in non-NFL. I went 2-1 in NFL, so I broke even. Leon, you went 2-1 in non-NFL, all
Damn it.
Premier League picks, and you went 0-3 in the NFL. Now, Chris did not actually make any picks. He just faded all of yours.
Oh, lovely.
So he went 1-2 in non-NFL, and he went 3-0 in NFL picks. He actually went 5-1.
You know, blind squirrel finds a nut. Every once in a while, broken clock is right twice a day.
No,
know?
you were right. 4-2. 4-2. Yeah, you're right.
4-2.
Miracles do happen. I mean, somehow Chris had sexual relations. He had a child. That lightning strikes sometimes.
I continue to kill
Hey,
it
man.
in NFL though. If I don't go 3-0 in NFL, my percentage drops on the podcast.
Well, I can.
Do you have overall records tallied at the moment?
Let's see.
Yes.
Because I know I have the highest winning percentage overall.
Well, because you've only been here for like
You missed
6 days.
7,000 shows.
And
that was not my fault.
so overall, I'm 58-40. I am 30-15 in NFL. Leon, I don't know if you want us to say yours, but you're 44-52-2. And Chris, you're 24-16.
Hey, I step out there a lot. There was a lot of parlays in there. There was a lot of dogs. I take a risk. I take a risk. Much like my hungry dog parlay that I'm putting together later for college basketball.
Hey, being bad is just as good as being good for the people out there listening. They just fade you.
Just fade me. Just fade. Don't like Barstool. They got that hoodie. Don't be afraid to fade yourself. I'm like the Jersey King of this show, minus the addiction, but he got over.
I did that last night with the Ohio State game. It actually hurt me. I was on Missouri. It seemed too easy, so I bet on Ohio State.
Okay. All right. So moving over, going to the National Football League here. Scotty says you have the best record. I'll start with you and your NFL picks du jour.
So I hate myself for my first 2 picks, but here we go. First pick is tonight's game. I'm going that team in Dallas -5 at home against Detroit. They're at home. They're 7-0 at home. They need this game a lot more than Detroit does. The only really motivation for Detroit at this point, they have the division locked up. They have a shot at getting the number 1 seed, but they know that San Francisco is not going to lose to Washington this week. So I think they know it's pretty unlikely for them to get the number 1 seed, and they're on the road. Both of these teams are better at home. I think Dallas, if they win this week, then that game against Philly next week is going to be for the division. So I think they have a lot to play for. Primetime game at home, Dallas -5.
Okay.
And then my second pick, also hate myself for this, but the 49ers, who I just alluded to, -13.5 at home against my Commanders.
Ooh, big number.
Commanders, we just don't have anything to play for. We're tanking. Rivera said he didn't have time to watch tape on the 49ers defense, so that's not great.
How could you not have
I don't know what – listen, in all seriousness, I think maybe his medical issues are affecting him because he says a lot of things and you're just like, did you really just say that? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like saying he didn't know Sam Howell was good last year or he would have played him. He didn't know that our playoff scenario last year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a lot of things. But
hey, it was Christmas. Okay, he might have been watching a Muppets Christmas special. You never know.
Maybe. Yeah. It's just we being the Commanders, no real motivation for this game. I think our owner told Rivera to not start Brissett, and that's why all of a sudden he's got a hamstring that's making him questionable. So Howell's going to be starting again. We're very depleted at corner, so we don't have anybody to match up with San Francisco's receivers. They're going to kick the shit out of us. They'll win by 2 touchdowns plus.
Okay.
I agree.
And your last pick there.
Last pick is the Sunday night game. I got the Packers money line at even money on ESPN. I think the Vikings are starting their rookie quarterback. And you know me, usually I'm all for betting the point spread with the backup quarterback on that first start, but that's when they're underdogs. Minnesota's a slight favorite. I just think the Packers are I know they got Justin Jefferson back, but I just think Green Bay is a much better team right now. So I think they're going to win the game.
Yeah, Jaron Hall getting the start, the rookie from BYU. I know he played earlier this year and he got injured. I didn't want to say it's against Detroit, and that's what gave us. Oh my God, his name is gone out of my brain now. The flash in the pan.
Dobbs.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Did he start that game against Detroit, or did he come in?
Yeah, no, he started and then Dobbs came in once he got a concussion.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, but still, has not played a lot of football. I am partial to him though because he's a BYU Coug. But yeah, What was that?
Are you partial to Zach Wilson too?
Well, I have a friend that is involved with BYU athletics, and I've always had a soft spot in my heart, going back to like the Dittmer brother days and stuff. As for BYU, I've always kind of like looked at them from afar with a little bit of a affinity.
Do you want to be a Mormon?
Well, the prospect of like 17 wives is kind of cool. The magic underwear, not so much. And Mitt Romney putting the dog on top of the station wagon, I'm not cool with that either. And also, I like to have a drink, so that wouldn't fly there either. Though I hear they just got the ability to sell, I think, Coke or Pepsi or whatever in that stadium a couple years ago. So they got that going for them. Which, by the way, let me tell you how much of a jackass I am. My friend that works at BYU, when we were working for a university, I did not know that this gentleman was Mormon. And I like this guy. And you know me, after I get to like you for a little bit, I'm like, hey, let's go out and get a beer, man. Let's go do this. He was always like, nah, man, that's cool. Nah. I thought he just didn't want to like hang out with me. I'm like, why? We hang out at work all the time. Then one day he tells me, hey, I'm Mormon. I was like, oh, it's my first Mormon. I'd never been a Mormon before.
I don't think he's Mormon. I think he just didn't like you.
No, he's Mormon. It's like Jerry Seinfeld's mom in Seinfeld. Like, who couldn't like him? Look at his face. I'm like a big cuddly drunk bear.
We'd rather not.
Yeah.
I've just been trying to think of a soaking joke, but I haven't been able to think of one. So.
Chris tried to soak once and he didn't have discipline, and now Gavin's here.
When he turns 18, can he replace you on here?
I would love that, actually.
Yeah.
He's going to know even less than I am.
He wouldn't be caught dead on this podcast.
You're probably right.
But
you don't want to be seen in public with y'all.
By the time his kid turns 18, we should have our mobile unit all set up so he can drive us from bar to bar while we broadcast remotely. So he's
hopefully we'll have money. We'll make money by then, and we can actually pay him to do so. That's the only way he's going to do it.
No, this is an internship for life.
He's a greedy little shit. He's not doing anything for free.
No, this is college credit right here. This is this writes on that paper, South Harmon Institute of Technology. Turn that shit into the professor. Boom.
Internship for life. That sounds very Mormon.
That was like indentured servitude. It's okay. I'm black. It's a reversal. We hit the card.
So is he.
We gotta clip that. You saying okay? I'm black.
Yeah. All right.
He admitted it.
Jesus Christ, this thing's going off the rails like a train derailment. All right. So, Chris, did you give your picks? I tend not to listen to you.
No, I have not yet.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, your 0-3 NFL selections, please.
I'm going Bengals plus 6.5 at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are struggling. The Bengals not completely awful. Browning's been doing okay, so why not? That's my analysis for that game. Steelers at Seahawks under 41. Steelers suck on offense. Seahawks not that great. Easy peasy. Easy money. Then last one, Saints at Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks minus 2.5. Saints suck. Bucks are on a roll. Mike Evans is killing it. Let's go.
All right.
I don't hate any of those. The Cincy one, I don't know. It's the smart pick, but the Chiefs, they got to have one of the weeks at some point where they just go off. But yeah, it hasn't looked good recently for them. So I don't hate any of those.
Get the punt. It was one of those analytical football guys I follow on Twitter, but they were showing film and they were pointing to the Chiefs' struggles. So much of it has been Mahomes. Like the ability to where he's extended the play and look downfield. And it hasn't been there this year. Like his vision hasn't been the same. I know a lot of people want to put it, on Travis Kelce. It's not all Travis Kelce. It's not the Taylor Swift distractions. Just something hasn't been there. That magic that they've had, that ability to pull this rabbit out of the ass and pull some amazing play, it hasn't been there this year. And the defense early on in the season was playing well, but they haven't played at the level that we thought they would be lately. It just doesn't feel right. Philadelphia for a good portion of the year, despite the record, just hasn't had that same feel of like the Eagles teams the last couple years. Something just felt a little off all year about Kansas City.
Yeah, I think after that first game with Kadarius Toney showing that he has hands of stone, I think Patrick has lost faith in his receivers. He's probably forcing Kelce too much. When Kelce's not open, Kelce's dropping balls. Rashee Rice has come on a little bit.
I like him.
But I still don't think Patrick Mahomes trusts anybody on his receiving core. He doesn't have the sure hands of Juju Smith-Schuster or any of the other guys that they lost this year. So Kadarius Toney sucks. He's a great athlete, but terrible hands. He should probably play corner.
It's almost like if you take a game-changing all-pro wide receiver that once wore number 10 for them, take them away from that offense, it's almost like they're not the same team.
And it didn't hurt him last year, but he had his safety valves. Yeah. He had Juju, who's going to catch whatever is thrown at him. But Juju's knee is about to explode, so they had to let him go.
Was McCall Hardman there last year?
Hardman,
I believe so.
Was there last year?
Yeah, so he had some guys that he was familiar with. Yeah, you just can't keep. At some point, you got to keep somebody. And he has, like Chris was saying, no confidence in Toney or MVS. I remember that game was some night game where he had a bomb right to MVS. He just dropped it. It's like, like who can you throw the ball to at this point?
Yeah,
other than Kelce, and their teams are going to take Kelce away. So
MVS, by the way, one-time NC State Wolfpack before transferring.
That's why he sucks.
Yeah, screw you. It's almost akin to like the Aaron Rodgers situation. That's so much crap in Green Bay the last few years. But what the hell is that noise?
I think it's the washing machine or the garage. I'm right on top of the garage. It's the garage door. Sorry. I live in a big house with an attached garage.
What are you trying to be, Jeff from Richmond on the Jim Rome show? In your, my $75,000 sled in my estate, Jim. Is that your bit? Is that your bit?
Brag.
Yeah. I live in a big house.
I don't own it, but I live here, so.
That's the American way. But yeah, it's almost like the Aaron Rodgers situation where like you just keep taking pieces away. You don't invest anything offensively. And it's like he doesn't have any confidence in the receivers last couple of years in Green Bay. It just didn't mesh. It's almost like that right now. So I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go with my picks here. Scotty, you said everything I was gonna say. I mean, what more can you say about Washington and San Francisco? It's just gonna be a bloodbath. And 14.5. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco wins this thing by 17 or 20. It's just going to be ugly. And I need Jake Fromm to get into this game for Washington. I need to see it. Let's go ahead and sit Jacoby and hamstring. We don't want him to hurt it anymore. Let Sam Howell go stink it up. Let's promote Fromm from the practice squad and then let him go out there and replace Howell. I need to see Jake Fromm get into a football game this year.
So it's moved to 13.5 for some reason. I don't know why, but
okay, yeah, 13.5. Yeah, I see it on ESPN bet. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 13.5. San Francisco minus the 13.5 there. My second pick here, I'm going to go with the Chargers at the Broncos. Russell Wilson benched now in Denver. His time may or may not be over in the Mile High City. This is just an ugly, terrible game. I'm going to go under the 36.5 points. I could easily see this being like a 15-9 game with a bunch of field goals. So, yeah, I'm going to go under 36.5 there. And then for my last game here, I'm sticking with my bad games. Atlanta at Chicago. I'm taking the Falcons. They're plus 125 right now on ESPN bet. I think Bijan Robinson, he's getting better and better. I like Drake London. I think Atlanta's like trying to figure out a few things. That being said, I don't know if Arthur Smith survives the season. Kyle Pitts, it's up and down. Atlanta's a frustrating team because especially offensively, they have talent. They have weapons, at least on paper, to be a lot better than where they are. But I'm going to take Atlanta, plus 125. What?
I just read I just saw the meme that Scotty put in our fantasy football chat.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The Liberty mascot.
Liberty.
Speaking of fantasy football.
Oh, yes. I am a champion. I am a champion of my league with the very weird scoring and everything that you guys are not in. These gentlemen that are in my league have been doing this league since the 80s via Excel spreadsheet, and I am a champion. I took a team that I inherited that won the championship the year before in 2020, and I led them to they won in 19. I took over in 20. I led them to a winless season in 2020. Lost in the playoffs in 21. Lost in the championship game last year. Champion this year. That's how you build a program. So,
is this a keeper league?
It is a keeper league.
Okay, so you actually did have something to do with it.
Yes, you keep 10 players in this league. It's big rosters. You keep 10 players, redraft everything else is all on spreadsheet. Scoring's a little different. It's a little weird, but I am a champion. You will bow down. You will respect my authority. And I am third in my media league with some old media colleagues of mine. I am third place in that league.
Let's talk about how you did in our league.
Well, this was
me and you were in the last place game, Leon.
Scotty's league to me was, you mentioned being Mormon. Oh, as I hit my computer. You mentioned Mormon earlier, and I said the prospect of 17 wives is kind of cool. When you have 17 wives, eventually, like wife 14, 16, you're not paying them that much attention to.
This should be wife 1.
This
it's not about the money.
This was the one I didn't pay that much attention to.
Well, you drafted a kicker in the 5th round, so
that was
a live draft.
And you had more defenses than running backs at one point.
Worked in my other leagues as well. It's a strategy that usually works. I did not count on some of the injuries and roster mismanagement in this league. I'll be better next year. I'll pay a little bit more attention.
I am in a dynasty league that is a higher entry than ours, and I thought I was going to have a good chance to win, but I ran up against Amari Cooper and Breece Hall last week. That was like almost 100 points just from them two. I still only lost by 9 points. I was hoping that Philly game. If it went to overtime, I would have had a chat. And in our league, Chris is in the championship. He was the lowest scoring team in the league and somehow got in the playoff, and somehow his team is playing well all of a sudden. It's in the championship against Justin.
Chris being in the championship is like that year the Pistons, Pistons Spurs in the finals? Was that the final?
This is the third championship I've been in this league. I've won once.
That says a lot about the quality of the league.
Well, does it though? Because you're dead last.
Yeah.
it was this of all my Goomers, this was the one that was the furthest out, you know?
This is
This
the
was-
only one you did a live draft at. It's the only one you actually know you've met everybody in the league. You know
Erroneous. In my media league,
half
I've
of
met
us.
all colleagues. Erroneous.
Nobody does it. Nobody has a funner draft than this one.
Your mom did make
Exactly.
really good meatballs, Scotty.
Okay.
So
I don't
fuck
like the
you,
way you said that.
Justin. You're going down this week. I'm gonna get my trophy back.
There we go. Yeah, apparently I get a trophy for the league that I've won too, which I will proudly put behind me. I'm not in my usual space. I'm in my living room right now, sitting on the floor, but I will proudly display behind me when I'm in my usual space. All right, well, that was it for the picks. There was a couple weird things I wanted to get to that we always get to. Now, I usually send over the weird shit. I did not have a chance to do that this week. One thing I will say before we go to the weird stuff was I saw a story from California, I believe it was. Woman got a DUI on, I think it was Christmas Eve. She crashed into a DUI sign. So, you know, like the signs they have on the road, like don't drink and drive, stuff like that. She crashed into that. And then she ended up getting a DUI. Is that kind of like when you're playing golf and you see the water to your left and people say, like, don't look at the water because you're going to hit it into the water? Was that just like a magnet for her? Like, I'm drunk, so I'm going to crash into the drunk driving sign?
Was it an LED sign? Like the ones that flash?
I don't believe it was. I believe it was just like a standard, like, highway board sign, like, you know.
No way she saw that.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. And she crashed
No
into
way
it.
she saw that. No. I think she was just probably blackout drunk and fucking thought it was the road.
Chris, I hope you go visit your girlfriend in jail because I'm sure it was her.
Might have been the X.
That might have hit close to home.
Oh, my bad.
She was probably close to home too. That's where it usually happens.
That's where most accidents happen. It's within like 2 miles of
Been a mile, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sky. So you had some weird stuff.
Yeah, like you said, we really didn't prepare this week. So I literally found this like right before we started recording. Let's see if I can figure this out. I'm gonna share my screen here. But do y'all remember the guy that made himself a border collie?
I
We
do.
did
remember-
I think we-
this on the show, right?
Yeah, the guy looks
That was this
ridiculous.
summer.
But
Before I got kicked off the show for a while.
Well, those sexual proclivities will catch up with you.
so can you guys see this?
I see
Is this
you.
working?
Tab.
Okay. So he's filmed himself doing the like the dog show agility drills, which is
So wait,
ridiculous.
for people at home that don't know, the large dog next to the tubing, or whatever, is a man. That's a man. Who, I believe this is Japan. Was it Japan?
I think so.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
Well, they buy underwear out of the vending machines there, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with Japan. They do some weird shit over there. But yeah,
It's either Japan or Florida. One of the two.
hey, Germany or Florida. That was the bit back on Loveline back in the day. But yeah, this gentleman has spent money to turn himself into a border collie.
And this is a real dog, and he looks very disapproving here. It's like stolen valor.
So stolen valor in the dog world. So Scott, you're saying that he's going to try an agility course.
He's going to try. We watched about 10 seconds of this. It looks pretty funny. So
All right, let's
further ado.
watch and learn.
let's do this.
Oh my god. Chris, have you been to Japan?
Dog is
Yeah.
pissed.
That's a Shibu Inu that's looking at him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Confirmed, it is Japan.
He's not going to be able to jump this. He's too fat.
Just
Oh,
wait.
Why? This is so stupid.
have a stroke?
All right, so this is as far as we watch, so I don't know what happens after this.
It's very creepy.
It is very creepy.
What dog walks like this? Is he wearing like a butt plug of some design?
That'd be the least weird thing about him.
Oh my god!
Is somebody timing this?
This wait, it took 27 days. This is like Chris's first driving test. All the poles and stuff were hit. Is he rubbing himself against? Is he getting off on this?
You know this is like going to be a thing. Like there's going to 10 years from now, it's going to be like an actual event.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's the problem here?
This dog is like, dude, you're embarrassing dogs.
I'm gonna say if you turn yourself into a dog, you probably weren't very physically fit.
What if that dog tries to mount him?
You'd probably like it.
Maybe.
Dude, this guy sucks as a human, but he also sucks at being a dog.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Would that be bestiality?
oh, it would be, yeah.
Is he going up this thing?
Any of the three of us can emulate being a dog better.
Yeah, totally.
I want this shit on his face.
I don't understand what's going on here.
What would Michael
Trying to communicate.
What would Michael Vick have done to that guy?
Eon. That might be the most cancelable thing you've said on this program. And that shocks me.
No, it's not. All right, so he is trying to go up this ramp now. No chance. No chance. He's like, yep.
Is this the Arizona Cardinals 2023 highlight film? Have you guys seen Full Metal Jacket?
I've seen bits
Long
and
time
pieces.
ago, but yeah.
This is like watching that dude try to like go over the obstacle course and stuff.
He should just stay like that for the rest of his life. Yep, he never made it up.
Oh my! Real question though, like, what if he has to piss? Is there like an opening? Like,
He
does
lifts his leg.
Yeah, there's probably an opening at the bottom, I would guess.
This is.
Looks like Chris trying to get a beer at the end of a long night.
Yeah. Looks like Chris, and now you got into your car and vomited everywhere. God, he's still cleaning up Jaeger out of there.
No, I just traded that car in.
Yeah, it's a different car.
Some 17-year-old that has Scotty's old car, and he's still.
Doesn't even know it. That was loud.
That was phenomenal.
That
All right, no,
is.
stop this thing. That is ridiculous. That's no other word.
I'm like,
That epitomizes this podcast.
we haven't seen Ryan in a while. Was that Ryan? He's more athletic.
Yeah, Ryan's way more athletic than that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he would have got up that wall.
he would take it way too serious. He would like be fighting the other dog. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. He would
Wow.
be kicked out of the kennel like so fast.
He would have thought the dog said something about Terry McLaurin being better than CeeDee Lamb.
Somebody
We
puts,
love
like,
you,
a,
Ryan.
somebody puts a UNC shirt on a dog.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Can we start a GoFundMe for some therapy for that man? Like electroshock therapy. We need like, I'm not talking about like current day therapy. We need like old school therapy. Like,
He needs a lobotomy.
yes, wasn't there a Kennedy that got a lobotomy?
Probably.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I think that's a bad idea. You give that guy a lobotomy, he might come up with an even worse idea.
No.
At least this is harmless. Like who knows what he would do?
Find the part of the brain that thought that this was a good idea, and we need to cut that out. Okay?
No. We need the entertainment.
No, we need to cut that out, and we need to do like hook this guy to like an electric shock therapy, but to like
Let him live his life, Leon.
I want him to enter an actual dog show. That's what I want. Bring him to America.
No. We do not need this gentleman in America. This is some French shit. Okay, he wants to go from Japan to France. Fine. I feel like the French do a lot of weird shit. He needs to go to France. All right.
That is probably less weird than half the shit that goes on in Florida.
Think about the evolution of man. You know, like you got like barbarians like fighting, and then you get to like Braveheart kind of stuff, and Washington crossing the Delaware. You get the Americans storming the beaches of Normandy. Now we got a guy paying like $20,000 to get into a border collie suit and destroy an obstacle course.
Maybe he had a rough life.
Oh,
time to end the podcast.
My bad joke of the week.
And on that unfortunate note, Jesus Christ. Let's get the hell out of here. You can find us online there on YouTube where you're already watching this monstrosity. Twitter, X. Where else, Scotty? I forget. Threads. Is Threads still a thing? People still use it?
We have our Threads. I don't know if anybody uses it. But yeah, we're on there. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and pretty much anywhere you get your podcast.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, go subscribe to the YouTube, please.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Click the little bell that's down there. Subscribe to that. Be a friend. Tell a friend. All that good stuff. We'll be back to a more
like the Facebook page too.
Yeah.
Very true.
YouTube most important.
We picked up a new follower today who may or may not be connected to a Russian crime syndicate. We'll see. I'm investigating.
I saw that.
So we got that.
Keep all the followers.
We're still big in Estonia. So, all right, we're gonna get the hell out of here. Ole Miss and Penn State about to play the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
I gotta go to bed on it.
Hotty toddy. Let's go, Rebs. Scotty, we'll go ahead and bump us out of here.
Let's do it.